Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, it's for you. But remember, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. But more importantly, remember, if you're only going to watch one of these, make sure it's for your ascendant. It's going to be the most accurate for you on that day-to-day level. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, pop these to the side. Those are for your lunations. And, that one and that one. Also worth mentioning, I use whole sign tropical Western astrology for those of you that not must know, but you know what I mean, for those of you that would like to know. And if I ever don't mention the degrees or the dates, please check the description box because I put everything in there. All right, so with that said, if you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. And this month's offering, or should I say February's offering, is all about the court cards. So if you have always wanted to learn more about the court cards and you want something that's just focused on those, this course is for you. All right, so you can check that out on the description as well. So for March, on the 8th of March, Mars squares Mars in the sign of Aquarius, which for you occupies the 5th house, squares Uranus, which is in the 8th house for you. Mars is action orientated, and the 5th house, it can bring a sporty, sort of energetic, fiery passion to your life, which I think is great. It's great for vitality. You might be feeling more dynamic, like you've got more energy sort of to, get shit done. It's also in a square to Uranus though, right? And in the 8th house. Now, what's really interested, temptation energy could be very high right now because we're talking about the 5th house of pleasure, joy, romance, creativity, anything that makes your heart kind of race, and then the 8th house of sex, intimacy, right? Deep partnership. So if you're partnered, there could be somebody at the gym or in a friendly setting who feels a bit more flirtatious than usual. Your eye might be roving. Flirting is harmless, but be careful because things could happen very fast with this. It is a square, right? So it's an energy of conflict, challenge, etc. It is Mars and Uranus, right? So Mars is energy, passion, excitation, irritation. Uranus is sudden change, disruptions, right? Fast developments. Things could move really fast here. Now, outside of that, Mars is your finances, and you could be trying to decide whether to spend big on something like an appliance and whether that's worth it. But it could just as easily be something that you feel maybe will make your life better as an investment in yourself. It's also your relationships. Given the proximity to the moon at this time, it's fair to say that this could be something emotional that kind of tips the balance. So just watch out for that. If you're single, don't be surprised if you have a tryst of some sort. All right, so it's not all bad. So for this, you've got the 3 of Pentacles. So there is going to be some kind of learning, some kind of information that finds you that you're kind of like, oh, I don't really know what to do with this, or, I can't unhear it now. Then you've got the Page of Swords. So potentially some look, and then you've got the 9 of Swords, right? So there are potentially some hard conversations that might need to be had around romance and pleasure, around what's acceptable. Maybe it's around that topic as well, right? What constitutes as being unfaithful, right? Is maybe, I said flirting is harmless. Maybe it's not. Maybe a partner receives that and says, actually, I don't feel like it's harmless, and actually that feels like a violation to me. So potentially some hard conversations around this kind of thing. Because the 3 of Pentacles is involved as well, this might also be some kind of advice that somebody gives you that you kind of snap at them for because you think, you know what, thank you, that's unsolicited. I didn't ask you for your opinion or your insight or whatever the case might be. And actually it could be information that could be quite useful to you, or at least give you a different perspective. On the 14th of the month, the moon is coming into a conjunction with both Jupiter, Uranus, and so the moon will come into a conjunction with Uranus at 20 degrees. Jupiter is at 7, it is 7 degrees away, if you like, but I still feel like this is a conjunction, right? This is all in your 8th house. This is big. This has a big feeling to it, big emotions, and maybe even realizations that lead to transformative healing of some kind. The moon provides the emotion, Uranus provides the shock or the impetus, and Jupiter provides the coherence or the cohesive energy out of skill set, right, of daily grind to make something happen. So the realization that you have around an intimate matter or connection at this time could actually be very it could be something that's really insightful at the right time, and it helps you move on or move beyond an issue that you've had in the past. Given that this is a money house, you might also be very focused on your joint finances if you are, connected to anybody financially. And maybe you shock yourself by laying down the law in some way, right? Whether this is with a partner, potentially also with a sibling around a financial matter. You're taking charge, choosing to see things pragmatically, no matter how you feel, right? And actually, I think that's great because it's like you're able to put your feelings aside. This is a shift in your outlook and your psychology that has a really profound effect on your inward healing. You're deeply observing yourself at a level that maybe you haven't reached before. Please, please, please do not run away from it. This is one of those times where if you can sit in that feeling, you'll realize not only is it a passing storm, but what it allows you to understand or transmogrify, to shift, to change, to transform in some way means that you'll be stepping forward in a way where not only is it healing, but right, now that I know this, I can't go back to the way that I was before. For this, you've got the King of Pentacles. So it may be around a financial matter where you draw a hard line, especially around a contractual financial matter, because you've got the Justice card there. And then you've got the World card. So what you will and won't commit to, what your past and your heritage are and are not responsible for, could all be coming up at this moment in time. And it might be in a relationship or a connection or even a commitment of some sort that you're in, where you kind of see like, okay, this is where this echoes what I've seen in my past. This is where it stops, right? You're drawing a hard line in the sand in some regard, and I'm totally here for it. On the 17th of the month, the Sun is going to conjunct Neptune in your 6th house of your physical health and vitality. So if the last transit updated your psychology and your spiritual self, this one is giving your body a sublime taste of peace and ease, right? The Sun for you in your chart rules your 11th house, so potentially glimpses into the future. Neptune does rule your 6th house, which means your physical body. The trick with this one is the day before, the day of, and the day after, take it easy. Take your time, because this is the body. Don't rush. There is no need to rush, right? Let yourself be in the dreamy, floaty, sort of easy, soft sheen space that is kind of around. And should they come up, let the tears flow. Let the emotions come and let them go. But above all, enjoy the really delicious peace that thrums through your body at this time. It will be palpable. And I tell you, if you have a bath, it's going to be your best friend over these 3 days, right? The 16th, the 17th, and the 18th. Have a nice, good, long soak in the tub. It will do you the world of good, and you will thank me later in the comments. Thank you. Right, so like literally use it. If you don't have a bath, you know what? Use the shower. Right? If that doesn't feel right, go and spend some time next to water. Watch the waves, dip your feet, gaze into a river. It will heal and soothe you in a way at this moment in time. It will offer more healing to you than maybe you've ever felt, and it will be at a really deep level. The sixth is your body, the sun is your future goals and dreams. Neptune is the sixth house ruler, and it's spiritual, sensual, and dreamy. Let your imagination flow, and because this is in the sixth house, this could be really creative. Take a pen and sit by the water and listen to the take a pen, listen to the water, take a pen and paper and see what comes to you. Do some meditation, right? Like, use this, like, use it to your advantage. For this, you've got the Judgment card, so it is bringing profound change, some kind of up level in some regard. You've got the Eight of Cups, so potentially this brings you some healing around what you want for your future, but as it pertains to or relates to what you need to release from your past in order for that future desire to sort of really unfold. And then with this as well, you've got the Seven of Swords, where maybe somebody has lied to you or deceived you in the past, especially around a work matter, especially around, maybe even friendships, etc. This can be a time where some really powerful healing can take place. And it may even be a friend that facilitates this for you, right? Like, it really gets you to see something or to reframe something in some way. Okay, and then finally, on the 21st of the month, Saturn is going to conjunct Venus. Neptune will still be there. The Sun at this point will be moved into Aries. So this is pretty a big deal as well. This is also in your sixth house. Venus for you is the ruler of your eighth house of other people's money, resources, joint finances. The moon won't be there at that point though. And it's in a conjunction to Saturn, which rules your fourth house and your fifth houses, right? Your home, family, property, children, if you've got them, your creative ideas, and also your fun and recreation. It could be where you need to become the hard line in the sand. If you've got children, maybe you have to set a boundary for them, right? But you're able to do it in a way that actually brings you closer and helps them understand, like, oh, wow, my parents are actually looking out for me. Right, and one thing I used to say to my niece when she was, she's still a teenager, but she's about to turn 20, so she's a full-on woman at this point. But I used to say to her, you could do worse than have a parent have a parent or parents that give a shit. Right, you really, sometimes we need to instill this into young people. Right, and I say that as somebody who always tries to remember being a young person, right? I remember not being listened to, not being heard, all of that stuff, but there comes a point where you need to recognize that you are the child and you need my help and support and my guidance, whether you want it or not, right? Now, it could also be that you're choosing to set or lay a boundary because you realize that something in the home or family has gone too far, right? So you say to yourself, look, you know what, I will become the hard line in the sand. But then very quickly, like, people realize, like, oh, okay, this really is about my best interest or someone else's best interests. There could also, it could be a great transit, right? If you're willing to have the hard talks, this is another one of those because Saturn's involved, and realize that there is work to be done. I actually think this could be great. And in a sextile to the energy of Jupiter, this is sixth house of work, daily habits, etc., and the eighth house of other people's money. This could be that maybe this goes a long way to some kind of communication or conversation that brings around a shift or a change in resources, right? Maybe you make an ally where somebody you've had, has been a problem. For this, you've got the Queen of Pentacles, so self-care will definitely be a part of this, and that's the sixth house for sure, with the Ten of Swords and the Death card, right? Okay, so look, I'm really sorry to say this, there's no getting around that. There's no way that I can spin that. And while I could look for another meaning, that's very, very clear. This is an earth sign woman, Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo, potentially someone that's in the winter of their lives, more than likely, that could pass away around this time. I'm really sorry, right? I know this is, Saturn conjunct Venus. So this would, Venus, a woman, Saturn, death, right? The Ten of Swords coupled with the Death card is one of the few combinations that means literal death in a reading, right? And I really hope I'm wrong on this front, but it is a possibility. There's no getting around that, all right? I'm very sorry to say this, and as I say, I really hope that I'm wrong. Now, death with the Ten of Swords also represents a finite ending. So this, where you're drawing a line in the sand, potentially with your work or possibly with your children, this could be where you are that hard line in the sand and say, no, this experience, this emotional challenge, issue, trauma, baggage that we keep reliving in our family is not happening anymore, right? So that could also be the way that it shows up as well. But I would be remiss and not doing you a true service to say that that's not what it could be, all right? Like that is such a clear message. An earth sign woman, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, Ten of Swords with the Death card. This is, and you know, it will probably be somebody that's older and very likely to be somebody who maybe comes to the end of a battle that they've been having, you know, with an illness or something along those lines. Again, I really hope I'm wrong. So that being said, I can't remember the date, but it will be in the description. The Pisces new moon will be happening in your 6th house of the body, right? So that 6th house new moon could be a fresh start in your work sector. Could be a fresh start in terms of how you look after yourself, your physical health and vitality. This could be a time where you say, actually, you know what, it's time to do things very differently. And remember, the sun for you in your chart rules Leo, your 11th house of your higher goals, aspirations and dreams through your daily habits. And the moon for you rules your career. So there is some sort of shift that's taking place here for you. You got the Gate 38 and Fighter, and the message behind this card, it's not just about fighting or what you fight for, it's about taking the hardships and the challenges in life that you've experienced and turning them into your gold, right? So this new moon, which in the 6th house, and the 6th house literally represents struggle, challenge, it also represents, you know, the things that are a burden to you. You could find a way to overcome them that truly sort of helps you transcend in some way. And then on the 25th, I remember this one because it is my mama's birthday, there will be a full moon lunar eclipse in your sign, in your 1st house. This is a grand completion, culmination, or some kind of up-leveling in some way. And it also could show up for you in the sense of, you know, you change your path, you change the direction that you're heading in some way. With this, you've got the Gate 7 and Discipline. I think it will be a physical change that you make, whereby you say, right, I'm starting this health regime, I'm stopping eating meat, I'm, you know, going to go back to eating meat, whatever the case might be. It will be something that requires discipline, potentially because the 1st house is also your mind. This could be something that requires discipline of the mind as well. This is a money card, but it's money that comes from the hard work and the effort and the toil. All right, so all in all, not a bad read, just a very, very interesting one. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. If you haven't got yours yet, the Court Cards course is up and out there. I have designed this. There are bite-sized chunks of information. There are PDFs. There's lots of really great examples of astrology, archetypes. You're going to be delving into how they show up as celebrities. This is just to kind of help you really personify the royal court. I've seen so many people give amazing readings, and then when it came to the court cards, they just get completely flustered. If you've ever had that experience and you want to take your tarot reading to a whole new level, this course is for you. It's self-paced, self-studied. You do it in your own time, at your own marker. And if you want to get a personal reading with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. With that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.